Another week has arrived. Another Thursday. Another pod night. Some news. Breaking news for the pod. Q's
Don't.
back.
Okay, I'm back. We won't name names. We won't name government names for government reasons. But now there is two of us.
Yeah, you could fill in the blank, I guess.
So I think the plan is we got some names lined up. After this week, I'll hit our number one up because I know he's gonna listen. I'll hit up our number one for an all-time I don't want to say replacement.
It is a replacement. That's what it is.
It is.
To peel the Band-Aid off, that's what it is.
To also go with me missing last week, let's just
Would
clear
be a
the air.
shame.
Let's just clear the air for what I saw on Twitter, and let's explain that. Because
damn, that just shows you don't listen to the pod when you're not on either.
Well,
would be a shame if you went back and listened to that.
Let's just clear the air. What was said last week between you and your cousins? All of them. Matt and Mason, we won't name the government third.
It was I told our fans not to tweet you that it would, that dedication and everything like that wasn't a thing, I told them not to tweet you that, so that's not on me.
Oh no, it definitely hit me in the heart. I needed that. It was a little kick in the ass. That was good.
No, it was just friendly fire. I mean, we addressed the elephant in the room while you weren't there last week.
I did say, was that Mason? Was that the Tic Tac joke?
Yeah.
That was mean. I didn't. When I said to Matt that the Chiefs suck, that was obviously not true. I'm sorry for the Tic Tac joke. That was not even a good one. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
You just felt bad after you did that one? Like,
I mean, it's still there, but I kind of felt like people really don't eat Tic Tac anymore, though. I'm just saying. They don't.
That's extreme.
It wasn't a bad joke.
It was outdated, if anything. But so yeah, we're looking to try and get a replacement on to fill in a third, maybe fill in a void, a voice of a fan base that isn't heard every week. The Hawkeyes aren't represented on this pod one bit. But I mean, the show goes on. We're new era.
We
are. It was a hell of a ride. I'm gonna miss blank.
Yeah.
Don't mention government names.
We can't. Government jobs.
Definitely gonna miss the stats and everything with that.
Yeah, he's the wise one.
He is the wise one.
The stat guy will be missed. There's no doubt about it.
He kept you on your leash.
He did.
Now you're free roam. Now the whole world's fucked, dude.
He used to before this thing even started. Now
Got it unhinged. Yeah. Let's stay on topic tonight.
Yeah, well, maybe he needed to take a breather and fucking go to therapy or something.
Better help.
Yeah. Better help. Just kidding, government name.
So we'll get into last week college football slate. There wasn't a whole lot of big games, but to lead it off, UGA versus Tennessee, Georgia 31, Tennessee 17. Crazy environment at Georgia. What happened? I don't know. I don't know how you felt since you weren't on last week, but I felt like we all saw this one coming.
God damn it, Logan. Government, shut up. See, I told you it was going to ruffle feathers. What, can you do it real quick right there, or is it in the house?
No, it's in the house.
Damn. Okay, so Tennessee definitely should have played better, I feel like.
Yeah. Yes and no.
Rankings don't mean shit, do they?
Freshman quarterback on the road. Georgia still has a pretty solid defense. Their offense has been the sketchy thing for them this year. And Beck didn't throw an interception. I think it was like his first game in like
good for him.
4 or 5 games where he hasn't thrown multiple. So, but yeah, wasn't really surprised. I bet not heavy, but I bet on Georgia to cover. So
worked out.
Yeah, no, that was That was one. I watched it here and there, so I really don't have the greatest preview. It's just Georgia. When you think Georgia's dead, they come back and they show you why they're still Georgia.
Yep. Why you can
Um,
never sleep on them either.
no. And then my lock of the week last week hit Kansas plus the points. They go to BYU outright win, shaking
Thank
it up a
goodness.
little bit in the Big 12. They're starting to slay all the top teams in the Big
Yeah,
12.
2 great back-to-back weeks for them. That's
Yeah.
wild.
And I think
Fuck
what before
Kansas.
going into the Iowa State game, they had like 2 wins, maybe 3,
3. No, they had 2.
2. So they're up to
Yep.
4 now. So yeah,
Yep.
back to back ranked wins.
Which they have a loaded offensive roster anyways. What really knows what happened to them, to be honest.
No, they just had a rough start in the beginning
Yeah.
of the year because I think last year they were like an 8-9 win team, beat UNLV in that bowl game. Everyone thought that they were going to make some noise this year in the Big 12 or
Their
at
running
least
back
contend a little.
cleared 4,000 all-purpose yards
Is
for his
that
career.
Neal?
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude's a freak.
Oh, yeah. Good player.
But like I said last week, BYU was just playing with fire. Like Iowa State, when we saw a few weeks how they had all those close games, BYU was that same way where you were just like, it's going to happen.
Which,
They're going to
thank
catch an
God they
L.
lost. Which it
So
didn't matter. It didn't matter for us, but it did. They could lose again.
you need them to catch another one, right? They only got one. Interesting. Is Iowa State in second?
Which we
You
got
know?
Tech, lost to Kansas. Yeah, that's it. Yep, let's go. Run it up. But maybe you'll bring it up. Where the fuck did Arizona State come from?
I was going to mention
What
them.
the fuck, dude?
They beat Kansas State last week.
Yeah, but good win for them.
And I think they only have.
They're second, actually. It goes
Yeah.
BYU, Arizona State.
Is Iowa State and Colorado tied?
Yep.
That's crazy.
We'll fact check that, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Arizona State moved to 2.
And I think they play. They play some. Oh, I have it on the list actually, so we'll get to that.
Okay.
That will actually solve a problem this week. Who they play?
Run it up.
But Kansas State lost again too.
Thank
So
God.
that helps too. Who'd they? I forgot to even have it on the sheet. I don't remember who they
It was
lost
Arizona
to.
State.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fucking silly goose.
Well, we said Arizona State won, but we didn't say who they beat. So yeah.
That's what I mean. They're just them motherfuckers coming
Comes
from
full
nowhere.
circle. Yeah. So I want to get your opinion. Iowa State finally bounces back after back-to-back L's, gets the much-needed win, 34-17 over Cincinnati at Jack Trice. I think it was on the same time as Florida, so I didn't see much.
I will say, when it came down to it, the score, we played pretty well, but like 2 fumbles. I just can't believe. I can't believe we can win that, but then you can't beat Kansas. You know what I mean? It's like you win like that, but Kansas is hot right now. I'll give them that. I mean, Kansas is fighting to fucking be bowl eligible right now. They might pull it off.
I think the loss to Texas Tech might be worse.
You think?
I don't know. They're not a terrible team. I don't know. Maybe not.
I mean, the loss to Kansas.
Were you guys
beating
coming off a
BYU
bye
the week
against Kansas or Tech?
Tech.
So I think Tech is worse just because you were coming off a bye. You had a week to regroup and everything, and then you came out flat against Tech that next week. I think that's probably a worse loss.
Which Kansas on the road is fair.
Yeah.
Especially then they beat BYU. Like, okay, cool. That's cool. That helps us a little bit.
Yeah.
Rocco, I don't know. I feel like anytime I talk about it, it just jinxes it. So I don't really know what to say. You know what I mean?
The game's over. You can't jinx anything about the game now.
We've never had a 10-win season.
Oh, well, you can jinx that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, what the fuck?
The game...
What the fuck? Well, what I mean, see why I don't want to answer your questions?
I was talking
I
about the Cincinnati.
incriminated myself.
I was talking about the,
Ah!
I was talking about the Cincinnati game,
Oh my lord.
and I thought you didn't want to bring something up about that. I didn't
I
think you
wish
were
we
going to
could
talk about
fucking
future wins.
rewind 10 seconds.
It's too late. Oh no. You
So
bet
to
the under
go
10.
to go with this, is this still in the same like is the Iowa State segment this thing as in this week as well?
I mean, yeah, you can throw it in this week if you
So,
want.
like Logan said, Jersey game.
Yeah, -7 against Utah. You're back to rank number 22 this week. But
In Utah at
it's
night, I don't care who
6:30.
it is.
But
Utah at
it will
night
turn,
at
yeah.
Utah is scary.
Oh yeah. I you know
Black
me.
jerseys, fucking crazy
Yeah.
helmets.
I don't hate Iowa State, so don't
No.
take this the wrong way,
No,
but
go ahead. Let it rip. Fuck it.
I fully plan on betting. I guess it's not bad. I just plan on betting Utah. It just
Yeah.
smells Utah. It's like you said, when it's a night game and then you throw in the jersey and helmet aspect, it's just all
That's the way college football rocks.
yeah.
Really.
And Utah, especially like 6:30 because it'll start out kind of like daylight and then it will
Mm-hmm.
turn into night.
I mean, it'll
Iowa
be
State
4:30 there.
Yeah, Iowa State, it will be like you'll see it. Once it starts to get a little dark, that's when Utah will kick it into their fourth gear. It always happens there at home.
And you know they're gonna be hyped for 8-2 Iowa State to come there.
Yeah.
It's coming.
The only positive is I think Utah's quarterback is Zach Wilson's brother still. I don't think they've benched him and he's not that great, so he might gift you some turnovers.
The biggest thing is our defense for sure.
Yeah.
Being you know, I don't want to say scrubs or Division One football players, but just being on your third string
Well,
guys, your
yeah.
linebackers in college is tough.
Yeah, no one ever wants to be on their third or fourth string this part of the
No,
season.
a lot of people don't realize that. And another thing, I think maybe Logan said that maybe he's been hurt, but what the fuck has been with Sama, dude?
He's
Like
been
where?
saying he said it was just Iowa State's been more feeding the hot hand, and he just hasn't been able to get hot.
No, he
So
just
they've been.
I feel like every time he touches the ball, it's for negative yards.
Yeah,
It's tough.
I legit asked that last week because
He's
I
not
was
having a
like,
good year.
all you could hear about like when it came to the run game last year was him, and I haven't heard his name really called at all this year, or like
I thought he
stand out.
was. They ended the year last year. Farmageddon rushing for like 304 with a fucking foot of snow on the ground. I
Yeah,
thought Sama was gonna come in this year with nobody being able to tell him shit.
yeah,
And I wish he was that way. He's big impact. Perhaps our offensive line is a little down though as well.
could be.
So I'm nervous. That's all I can say. I'm nervous for it. I got Emily's dad's in town. Emily's dad's gonna be here. My mom's gonna be here. Nana's gonna be here. It's
Oh
gonna be a
man,
fucking Saturday
yeah.
night. And
Oh
then
man.
I got family pictures Sunday.
Oh man. R.I.P. Family Pictures.
Ah!
Terrible decision.
Rain check.
Yeah. Wake up. Nah, I'm good.
Nah.
Um. So moving on to Florida LSU.
Yeah.
Florida walks away with the upset win. 27-16. It was a needed win. Billy Napier needed to win this one. I mean, he's already coming
Nussy
back, but
Meyer.
man, he's not
Nussy
that good.
Meyer.
The thing is with LSU too
Big
is
Nussy.
they outgained us in yards and everything, but our defense is such bend don't break where we were like, you can gain all these yardage, but you're gonna get field goals. I think LSU scored one touchdown, and then the rest was just field goals for the night for them. So we were just like, yeah, it's cool. Gain your yardage, you're not gonna get points.
So I was watching it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were
Yep.
watching it, and I think right when you said you were tuned in,
I said, not looking good for Florida.
what happened? Yeah, and
I want to say you guys fumbled, maybe.
yes, something bad happened, and then they were driving down the field. So then I said, "Q, you have to turn the channel," and you did. And Florida held them to a field goal, and then at that point, I don't think
It
LSU
was done.
scored again.
No, it was
LSU
done.
didn't score again.
Did they score at all the second half?
I think they kicked that one field goal.
Did they? Fucking Florida, dude. That I know we've talked about him before. You obviously know his name, but I was watching him when I was watching him pretty close. That big number 21 on your D line.
Desmond
Oh,
Watson.
dude. So
That's
he's all over the
450
place.
pounds of man right there.
6'5", 400 some pounds, fast as fuck.
Yeah,
I don't know how you can even block the dude. I don't even know it.
When he got to Florida, I don't know what his 40 time is now. He's lost some weight, so maybe
He
was
ran a
better.
4.5, didn't he?
Not that fast. It was more like 4.7, 4.8, but 400.
Good Lord.
450 pounds of man running a 4.8.
Tom Brady
fucking
ran
moving.
a 6.
Yeah, that's moving.
Holy shit. But so to go with that, I was watching him, and he was all over the place, dude, and he looks like one of them dudes. He hypes up his teammates and shit. Like, he looks
he's
like
good.
a good teammate. And now he's in what, year 3?
He might be a senior this year.
Oh, shit, dude. Time's flying. I
He might be a
remember
senior.
when you guys recruited him and got him.
Yeah.
You were pumped about it. That's how I knew about him. His 40 time was crazy. I thought they got him down to like 350 pounds or something.
Well, he came in weighing like 480.
Which he's a big boy, but he is 6'5". He
So he was 6'5",
he
like
didn't look 500.
480. He was 6'5", 480, and they got him down to like 425-ish at one point, and then he got back up. Yeah, I think he's back up to like 450.
Oh yeah, it's like in season, just eat. Eat and fill the gaps, dude. That's all we need.
And that's what we've been doing defensive-wise. Speaking of just eating, our defense has really been much improved since about the Tennessee game. The offense looks completely different when you have DJ Lagway as your quarterback and not a third-string guy from Yale.
But I mean, he had to have played well and moved the ball well.
Who?
Your third string from BYU.
No.
So how the fuck did you win?
He didn't play. Lagway played. That's why I said
I thought. I'm off a week. A week. So the last time I was on the pod, Lagway was injured.
Lagway got injured against Georgia. He got injured against Georgia, and the backup came in and threw. He threw for like 71 yards, and he was like 6 for like 27 passing. It was bad. And then he was even just as bad against Texas, who he sat a week last week. So Lagway finally returned this week, and you could tell. It actually, fun little tidbit is he leads all quarterbacks in college football on deep ball, like accuracy percentage.
Damn.
So
you got some receivers too.
Yeah, Elijah Badger, he's like a top wide receiver for yards per game or yards after catch, transfer from Arizona State. So we got some dudes, and if you got a guy who can get him the ball downfield like Lagway can, you have a fighting chance.
Mm-hmm.
And
which Lagway's young too, and he's just gonna keep getting better. So
yeah, true freshman. So like what I'm seeing from that, and we'll see how he does against the test this week. We got Ole Miss.
Big game.
Fun fact, the last time a top 10 Ole Miss team came into the Swamp, they got beat by 24 plus points. So hopefully we can repeat that.
The year they beat Tebow, they were like 4 or 5 win team or something, weren't they?
Yeah. Yep. So they're favored by 11. I probably will end up betting this, but I definitely take Florida plus the 11. I think. So here's going to be the interesting thing. LSU coming into the game last week had led up 6 total sacks on the year. Do you want to guess how many sacks Florida got in the game?
6.
7.
Fuck! Damn it!
So
I was close.
Florida got more sacks in one game than they had allowed all year coming into the game. And they had a pretty highly recruited line. That's the only reason why I say this is because Ole Miss's line isn't as highly touted as LSU's was. So I think our defensive line can get some pressure if they play like they did last week. And on the
So,
go on.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go on.
So, the Billy shit's working out. What happens? See, I don't even want to say it. I shouldn't say it.
I don't
I
think I
won't
want you
say
to
it.
say it now.
I
Okay,
won't
thank you.
say it.
Yeah, thank you.
But are you still, like I said, I was watching Fox too. The dude was doing the Florida highlights against LSU. He called
Mhm.
Florida the Fighting Billy Napiers. It was funny
Yeah,
as shit.
yeah.
It was funny. But if are you still on the Lane train?
No,
Especially after this weekend, maybe? Or which you said Billy's coming back.
I got off the Lane train once we announced Billy was coming back.
But I guess you're right, but doesn't mean
You
what if you lose out?
see if if you listen to my takes last week.
Damn it. Stop pressing me about
Nah.
that. God damn
but
it. I'm a
but
busy
what
man.
But what I said coming into last week, the news broke before we podded that night. It broke like a few hours before the pod. But coming into the pod last week, before I could get my takes off, I was all for bringing Billy Napier back because I could see like the team making a change. We have the hardest schedule in the nation,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and
And
Vegas
you're under
predicted.
your tough spot right now.
Yeah, our over under was 4.5 wins. We've already hit the over according to
Ooh.
Vegas, so we've already exceeded
Vegas tells no
Vega
lies.
expectations. But no, and it looks like we're doing what I said that I hoped we would. My whole thing was bring Billy back. You already had like $40 million saved up for a buyout. Use that money for recruiting and NIL. So then you go make a splash in the transfer portal or this or that, and you load up the team next year for him. So I'm okay. I'm off the Lane train. I'm off the Lane train until I want Billy Napier to succeed. The team's fighting hard. It actually gives me something to kind of look forward to. I'm hoping. My other take was we did it too soon, though. Like you said, what if he loses out from here? Because I need to see you
Ah!
beat Florida State is so bad. You need to beat Florida State. If we
Yep.
lose to Ole Miss this week, it's forgivable. But if you lose to Florida State next week, I don't know if I don't know if I want them back then because Florida
What
State's just so bad.
is Ole Miss in the swamp?
Yeah, they're coming to the swamp.
What time?
11 o'clock is the only bad thing. I
Ah!
wish it was a night game. But my only other point before we got off on that question was I was going to say Florida's defensive line playing well, so look for that against Ole Miss. Ole Miss's strength is their D line. Florida is now the top SEC team, I think, that has led up the fewest sacks on the year.
Yeah.
So if we can contain that D line and our D line plays like they should, I think we make this game a little murky and maybe get the upset. Maybe get the upset in the
Ooh,
swamp.
there it was.
Take the 11. Take the 11.
Take it.
So going into this week, the biggest matchup of this week, I think, I don't know, maybe you think this team's a fraud, but off ranking wise, number 5, Indiana goes to the horseshoe. Ohio State, minus 12. This
Yep.
is,
Here's one of the rants. I was reading
here we
this.
go.
I was reading this on X, and people are right. I feel Big Noon Kickoff has ruined college football. There is no reason Indiana and Ohio State should be playing at 11 a.m. There's no reason
I'd like it to be a night game, yeah.
that should be, and that's what I was reading. Is they're right. Big Noon Kickoff is trying so hard to compete with College Game Day
Game
and all
day.
that shit. All their good games are on at 11. It's like so, and maybe I don't know if there's like, I just don't get why you would play Indiana and Ohio State at 11 a.m. I don't get it. Why not make that a 7 p.m. game no matter what? Flex the fucker. They're college kids. In the NFL terms, flex it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, I don't hate it because I don't think there's any other big game that would be rivalry, like being a contender for that in a night
Yeah.
slot.
I just don't get how it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but to go with that, and I've said this before about in Indiana, like I feel the same way, same thing. I'm a follower when it comes to people online. I don't think they're going to beat Ohio State. If
Yeah.
they do, holy shit. If they
That-
do, everything I will say about them is ass. It doesn't mean anything.
yeah.
But it's just like one of those things. It's like they put them in the college football playoff rankings and all this. It's like, well, I mean, your strength, like people are saying or like Notre Dame beating NIU or losing
Yeah.
to NIU and shit.
NIU.
You know, it's like, well, what happens if Indiana loses to Ohio State? It's
Then they're
like, Ohio State.
I
You know what
think
I mean?
yeah, I think the difference between those two is if Indiana loses to Ohio State. Now, if they lose a close one, I think their playoff chances are still alive. But if they get boat raced,
Mm-hmm.
they're completely fucked. Whereas Notre Dame, when it helped them, yes, they lost a close game to NIU, which looks bad now because NIU's like 6-4, so they're a pretty bad team.
Damn.
But they went to Texas A&M and beat Texas A&M, which is a really great win that Indiana doesn't have on their resume to help them.
Yep. So to go with that, it's which obviously we all know is to not lose this late in the year. That's the worst thing. But I mean, I just don't get what do you do? And then BYU loses to Kansas and they're still up there. I just don't.
They're only up there because they're still in the driver's seat, so they're technically
Which that's
the
fair.
lock for the Big 12.
Which that's fair. Okay, so what do you do?
I had to. Oh, let me cut you
Go ahead.
off because this is a fun doomsday scenario. Have you seen the case where the Big 12 doesn't get a team in at all?
Yes, and that's where Cat and all them have been letting me have it. Like, oh, the only Big 12 team that's gonna get in is maybe BYU.
Yeah, because if Boise State wins out, they're already locked in for a bye.
Yep.
And then if Army somehow, by the grace of God, wins out, they would have a better record and everything, better than anything in the Big 12.
Isn't
So
Navy
they would
1
take
and
that
9?
spot. No.
Or was that Air
Navy,
Force? That was Air Force.
That's probably Air Force. Navy only has like 2 losses this year.
Okay. So it'll be a good week.
Well, Army Navy's not for another couple weeks.
Okay, so they've just been hyping everything up for no fucking reason.
Yeah. They're in 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Or 3.
So this weekend will decide a lot. Like if you're talking
there's implications
Iowa State,
here.
Utah.
Yep.
I don't care who it is. Iowa State has a chance to go fucking 9-2.
Yep.
It's just their 2 losses, which is ass. It's such the Iowa State shit.
You got Indiana, Ohio State, which if Indiana loses by a lot, then they're done. But if they outright win or win close,
lose by
then
3,
they're good. Then there's a shot still, I think.
I would think so too. I don't know who BYU is playing. I dropped the ball on that.
Well, that was the fun little thing that I said we'd come to that. BYU is a 3-point underdog against Arizona State.
Oh
1 versus 2 plays
God,
this weekend.
that game is gonna be nuts.
Yeah, and I like Arizona State actually.
Please tell me it's the 9:00 game.
I would assume it's a night game. I forgot to put times down. I knew you were going to ask what time the game was, and I was like, I should put it down because he's going to ask.
Something.
I think it's a night game though. It's a night game for us. I would assume.
I'll stay up till midnight and watch that fucker, dude.
Same. I got Saturdays off finally again, so I'm ready to rumble.
I watched the BYU game to the end last week.
Yeah, and then the week before that, when you tried to kiss a death against Utah, and they ended up winning. But so yeah, Arizona State, BYU. I like Arizona State in that. Army versus Navy, or not Navy, Notre Dame. You got me fucked up. Army versus Notre Dame is this weekend. Army is a 14.5-point underdog.
Oh yeah, okay. This is the one we've been waiting for.
Yeah, I actually like Army in the game. I like them to probably cover that number. Maybe muck things up, chew the clock a lot. I don't know if they outright
Army wins that.
Man, I hope they
Army
do.
Wins that.
I would love to see Army beat Notre Dame.
Imagine
Army in the playoffs. They're in the American.
That's what I thought. So
Just
what
Army in
happens
the
if
playoffs would slap.
yeah, in conference champ, undefeated conference champ gets a bye, right? Or is that
Um,
only big or Power
yeah,
5?
no. Well, they got Boise with the bye, so it's not just the Power Four.
So they'd have to beat Boise in the.
No, they wouldn't play Boise.
Oh my
Army, if
God!
Army beats Notre Dame and then wins out, so Army, the playoffs. I'm trying to think this through. The playoffs happen before, or like the selection for the playoffs happened before Army versus Navy. So if Army can
Oh yeah, okay.
win out these next two games, then the committee I think has to decide on the playoff spots before they even play their game.
What
So
if they put him in and then they lose?
yeah, that would be funny. They lose to Navy.
Ah!
Then what do? You're fucked.
College football's nuts.
So I mean, I don't know. I doubt Army pulls the upset off on Notre
We
Dame though.
didn't even bring up Iowa, Maryland.
Well, I was just about to do that one.
Oh
Iowa
shit!
minus
Okay,
6. Iowa minus 6. Sullivan is out for the year.
that's tough for them. That really is. That's too bad.
The unknown government employee
Yep.
told us that the rumor is Cade has quit on Iowa as well. So
Really?
it looks that's the rumor, I guess, going around. So I don't even know who the third string is, but
Uh-oh.
get ready to learn whoever that guy's name is, buddy.
Watch him be some like fucking
Watch if he steps
four-star
up.
from Cali and he's 6'1", 180.
Watch him step up
Just
and throw for
balls out.
350. Yeah, throws for 350.
Dude throws for 450 and 5.
Yeah.
Ah! I'm telling you, they got these guys. They got fucking Caleb Johnson. They got
Yeah.
guys.
No, I mean, I won't bet on this game, but if I was betting on this game, I would easily take Iowa minus 6.
What game do you have on your TV right now? I can see the reflection.
Uh, I got two on. I got the
You got the
Steelers.
Steelers?
Yeah, I got the
What's the
Steelers
score?
game on. My TV just froze. You know I illegally stream this. Uh,
You have
18-12
Hulu.
Browns.
Oh,
It's
you're
on.
on Prime.
I don't pay for Prime.
18-12 Browns. How
Yeah.
much time left
When it froze, it was 7:57, so probably less than that.
in the game?
Yeah,
Holy shit!
but yeah,
It's
I'm not.
8:30.
Yeah, my God, it's 9:30, my dude.
Oh my god! It is. My clock in my garage is behind an hour.
You
Like
said
what
it
the
2 hours
hell?
back,
I thought it was 8:30.
but to go off what I was gonna say, I'm not betting on this game. But if I was going to, I'd bet on
Holy
Iowa.
shit!
Iowa typically this year, I see that they've won 2 games in a row, then lost. But what they like to have been doing is like win, lose, win, lose. They lost to UCLA. They're coming off a bye. Give me the Hawkeyes, bounce back spot, traveling to Maryland.
Yep, I got Hawkeyes too, no doubt.
Yep. So moving on to the big boy league, the Bills finally take down the
NFL.
Chiefs. They finally did it. Someone finally
Good.
gave them motherfuckers an L.
I'm glad that happened. Fuck the Chiefs. Josh Allen is once again playing really well.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on the Bills
It's hard to
because
ever
they
be
like.
sold on the Bills.
It's hard to be sold on the Bills. They're playing probably better than they have, but I also cannot bet against the Chiefs when it
No.
comes to playoff time. You really can't. If you got
Yeah.
a one and done, like come on. There's just in it, but I do think it depends on where they're playing. You get the Chiefs
Away from Burrowhead.
you get the Chiefs away from Arrowhead. Like if the Chiefs had to go to the Bills, I don't know.
Yeah.
The Bills need that terribly.
They need the 1 seed. Yeah. That would help
And
them a
that's
lot.
and I don't think anybody in the AFC Ravens fuck. The Steelers are probably going to take an L tonight. I mean, they're down 8, 7 minutes left. Steelers are a sleeper team. They're still going to be 8-3. I think the AFC is up for grabs more in the NFC.
Yeah. I think there's like a clear cut. Well, there's a clear cut top dog in the NFC, and we can.
Well, AFC honestly as well. I mean, the Chiefs, kind
I
of,
mean, they're kind of, but they don't look like a top dog. Like
no.
they have the record of a top dog, but
Their defense is once again playing well.
the defense is always gonna
Just
play
Josh
nasty
Allen
for
is
them.
Josh Allen is just playing really well. That rushing touchdown sealed it.
Oh, was that touchdown Pittsburgh? They just took the lead.
I said it.
Come on.
What? You said it was 18-10.
I thought it was too. It was 18-13.
What the fuck? I just cursed them before that. I just said it's 18-10 with 7 minutes left. They're gonna lose.
Ladies and gentlemen, you saw the curse happen.
What the fuck? You told me it was 18-10. That's wild. I'm sorry, Jameis Famous. Famous Jameis Winston. Holy fuck. So it's 21-13? No, it's 20-13?
They'll probably go for 2 to try to make it 21-13, or else it's going to be 19.
Oh my lord.
No, they're going to go for 2 here to try and make it 21-18.
The Steelers
it's
have
19-18 right now.
The Steelers have some voodoo fucking magic going on, dude. I saw that on X too. Like people were saying, "Oh, the Chiefs have some voodoo. How about the Steelers? You know, Justin Tucker missing field goals.
Yeah, I mean,
Najee Harris and Russell Wilson have fumbled tonight, back-to-back possessions, and they just took the lead. It is the Browns, but come on, dude.
Since you brought it up, they beat the Ravens last week, like you said, and take over first in the AFC North.
Justin Tucker's having his worst year of his career.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because he's my fantasy kicker. That's why.
Yeah.
I cursed him since I drafted him.
And you kind of cursed the Steelers in the right way by making that $100 bet with Ronnie and Grant that the Raiders would have a better record than the Steelers.
I did talk my fucking shit on that. That was dumb.
That was
this year though. The Steelers are good at which Mike Tomlin's never had a losing season. I should have known better.
Yeah.
But you think I'd fucking see them at potentially to be 9-2? Like, come on, dude. 9-2.
Man.
Fuck you.
They're doing it.
But the Raiders have as many wins as the fucking Steelers losses. That's wild.
Yeah. Speaking of the Raiders, Dolphins 34, Raiders 19.
Brock Bowers is a prodigy.
Yeah, I was going to say Brock Bowers is about the only shining thing.
Brock Bowers is a prodigy. You know, fired what? GM?
Yep. Right before right at the beginning of the season?
No, this was the week. I wasn't on the pod last week. It was the week before.
Wasn't Ziegler or whatever your GM, or what was he? He's been fired.
Fired the OC. Fired 3 of them. The OC, the GM, so I was seeing Max Crosby has had, what is he, in year 5? He's had like 4 GMs, something like that.
Something crazy.
The season's a loss. I'm at the point, obviously, it's the NFL, fuck the Raiders. But, so, just tank, dude, fuck it. I mean, to go with when we started this podcast at the beginning of this season, the same shit. Everybody's fucking tagging me, sending me all this shit of Gardner Minshew working out without his shirt off, his long hair, like, oh, the Raiders got some fucking Cali swag and like all this shit now. Like, look, dude, that's why I'm saying I don't watch hype videos and shit, dude. I'm not into that. I'm really not.
So, tank for who? Who do you want at QB?
Now, the draft class that as is, and this is the popular vote, I wouldn't mind Shedeur. I really wouldn't. If it came down to being 1 or 2 overall, which it's probably going to be, we're going to be top 3. And I don't think Shedeur falls to 5. So you throw Travis Hunter in there. Travis Hunter isn't falling to 5.
Yeah.
So you take Shedeur, Travis Hunter, there's 2 of your top 5. maybe Genti gets drafted.
He won't go that high.
And I don't think so either. But
Running
so
backs
I
won't
like
go that
Shadur.
high anymore.
I like Shadur. That mock draft I sent you today, that
Had
fucking dude
Travis
had
Hunter.
that was the other one. The one I sent you today
Oh,
had the Raiders taking Shadur with the number 2 pick and
yeah,
Carson Beck as a 36th pick in the second.
that was stupid.
Back to back. What the fuck was that? Like, no. But yeah, this season's a wash. Brock Bowers. I'm kind of sick of people like saying Max Crosby needs to be doing this and doing this and that and this. It's like, dude, there's a lot of good players that are on some bad teams. Just leave the guy the fuck alone, man.
Yeah.
Just shut the fuck up, please,
Can
please.
I
But
offer? Would you want Pierce gone as the head coach and bring on Dion too? Just bring in
and
father and
see
son.
and see, I think
I don't know if he'd leave college football, but
this is the thing though, and I wish I had this on record because I mean this. When the Raiders fired Del Rio after the season he had for John Gruden, I wasn't cool with that.
yeah.
Like, yeah, it's John Gruden, da da da. Well, no, it went Del Rio. It went I cannot remember. I'm pissed I can't remember his name. He's the Hispanic dude. But then it went Del Rio. Oh boy, took over, won games.
Oh, you're talking about the special teams coach for
Yeah,
he's the special teams coach at
for
Green Bay
you.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for you.
Vasecki or Rich
E-
Vasecchia or whatever.
See, I can't remember how you say his last name.
His
So it
last
went.
name's tricky.
So yes, okay. So sorry, it went Del Rio, fired him for Gruden, and I was like, okay, it's John fucking Gruden. He's a Raider diehard, whatever. That happened. Hired old boy.
Well, he stepped in for interim.
Yes, played well, did all that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, to answer your question, I don't know what to say because the Raiders keep firing people that I like. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So
I don't think, and to go off that, I don't think they should fire Pierce
no,
yet.
no,
It's
no,
too
no,
early
no,
for that.
nope. But I was thinking this today at work. If you fire Pierce because you're hiring Deion Sanders, I mean it's Deion Sanders. You know what I mean? Like that. All that is so what ifs. But I think if you're gonna fire Pierce for Deion Sanders, I'm okay with it. But anybody else, no.
No.
No. But if you get Shadur and you bring on Dion, like, and I'm not saying the first year, kind of like he's got going on now, like give it
Yeah.
a little bit of
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But that's why I feel like you can't fire Pierce either.
No, you shouldn't fire him either. It was
Because
just a
Pierce was
fun.
handed a dumpster
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
And
It
then
was a.
Gardner Minshew from Jimmy G. Like, come on, dude.
It was a fun. What if? I just wanted to bring up. I don't think you. Yes
No.
to drafting Sanders. No to firing Pierce, which I think is what the Raiders
This
might
is
do.
this is the thing with the Raiders too, to go with like Brock Bowers and stuff, right? It's like, so the offense is ran that way. Zamir White is basically benched. So my point
God, you
is,
thought he was gonna do so well too.
I drafted him. I started him for like 4 or 5 weeks
You said losing Josh Jacobs wasn't a biggie.
because
Josh Jacobs was putting over
okay,
1,000 yards behind that shit offensive
okay.
line. You
I'll
owe that
go
man an apology.
1,700. The
Yeah,
dude almost rushed for 2K.
you owe him an apology. Look what you have running back
He
there.
rushed for
Nobody.
seven. He rushed for 1,700 and missed 3 games.
I've turned into such like the biggest Josh Jacobs stan account. Like Mason
But
wasn't happy with the signing. I've had to go to war with my own fellow cousin
listen,
over it.
though, I told you, I did say to you,
You said he'd be injured, and he hasn't
he
been
worked.
injured yet.
Okay, you've been writing this of me saying, okay, I was good with him when he left the Raiders to go with you. I
No, you
said that.
were.
I
You
said he
were.
worked his ass off for us. The Raiders fucked around with his contract.
You
Leading
did.
rusher, gave him a shitty 1-year deal. Tried to
True.
tag him. He said, fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
Came out, had a subpar year, whatever. He was checked out at that point, as he
Yeah,
should be.
as he should be. Yeah.
Comes to you guys, and I said, okay, good for him. Then all these interviews started coming out, the per usual, like, Raiders were great for me. Then a week later, that just wasn't a winning culture. Then he
He
comes
didn't
out
say
for
anything
you
wrong.
and fumbles on the fucking goal line. Pretty sure of a game you
Oh,
won, too.
we did win that game.
Yeah, and I was like, ha, 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 ha. That's
And
what
he
you've been
rushed
writing. That's what you've been writing.
and he rushed for 150 yards in that game too. So
Yeah,
I mean,
but you've been clowning on me from the one comment. He fumbled on the
well,
fucking goal
yeah,
line. I said
because
Josh Jacobs will be Josh Jacobs. That's
well,
what I said.
and then you were like saying something about like not that big of a loss, and I was like,
Nope, I
this
said
son of a
nope, fucking
bitch.
have him. He fumbled on the
Yeah,
goal line.
see, and he's
But
been a
that was out
baller
of
this year. He's been
out of
balling.
animosity. Josh
Yeah,
Jacobs is a good running back.
no, and I've been trying to fight that fight with Mason too because he was all like, we should have kept Aaron Jones, and I was like, nah, I like Jacobs more.
Where's he now? He's a Lion, isn't he?
Vikings.
Or
Vikings.
Vikings? Yeah.
Speaking of the Lions, that
Yep.
almost has to be what the Super Bowl favorite, maybe
That's what I
52-6
was.
over the Jags. They are a wagon.
They're so.
Jared Goff
Imagine
can
if they
throw 5
had.
interceptions in a game and they can still win it.
Imagine if they had Aiden Hutchinson.
Oh,
Like
dangerous.
I think right now, I think Super Bowl. I think it's Chiefs Lions. That's what I think. Like I said, the Chiefs 1-on-1 in the playoffs. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
it took
can't.
the Bills. It took the Bills and Josh Allen to play lights out, and they still barely won. I
You
know barely
can't.
winning is
Yeah,
cringe, but
you can't bet against the Chiefs in the playoffs. So yeah,
no,
if I had to guess, and I don't hate the lie. I mean, I know they're in the North, but they've sucked for so long that
never won a Super Bowl.
I can slide with them making the Super
Have
Bowl
they ever
this year.
been to
Well,
the Super Bowl? I don't think they have.
I don't believe so.
I don't think they have, dude.
So I mean, yeah, I think they're the favorite. Their offense is just so lethal. They got the two-headed
Who
monster at running back. They got
you as an NFC fan, who in the NFC could beat the Lions right now? Right now.
Mm,
If it's the NFC Championship game.
played in
Lions
Detroit.
played in Detroit. Eagles, is that far-fetched?
I don't think the Eagles is far-fetched. I mean, I know it didn't look like it really on the scoreboard, but
Or the Packers or
I,
Vikings
I was.
creeping?
I mean, I don't know so much about the Vikings. Maybe even the Vikings tool would know better than that because he watches them every week. But what I was gonna say is, it might
Damn.
be homerish for me to say Green Bay, but when Green Bay
There it is.
when they faced the Lions, they had more rushing, more passing, more total offensive yards. They basically had all the better stats, but we made stupid penalties and we turned the ball over. So if Green Bay could clean that up, then yes, but I don't. I mean, it's probably more of a long shot than the Eagles. I'd probably say off the top of my head, maybe the Niners if they get healthy-ish.
Yeah, fuck, I have the
I
hiccups.
mean, you can never count the Niners out. I mean, if I had to make a top 3, maybe Niners, or no, top 2 would be
Ooh,
Niners, Eagles,
Niners this week.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
Ha.
Yep, in Green Bay.
Yes.
Tough. I think this will show a lot.
Yeah. So speaking of Green Bay, they played the Bears this week, and you know what they say. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck.
Big
The
Cat's team
Bears still
sucks.
suck. They really, 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 really suck because the Bears still suck. Man,
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur is 11-0 against the Bears.
That's a wild stat.
They had me on the
stat.
ropes. They had me on the ropes. I was standing there, and Logan's or blank government official sent that message, and he was like, Caleb Williams is going to have a legacy drive here. And he ended up getting the field goal range, and that's when I messaged back and I said, he sure did. And then blank said, but they're going to miss this kick, though. And then the kick gets blocked,
He
and it
did
was like,
say
holy
that.
shit. He called it
Yep,
before it
he
even
did
came.
say that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
way called it before. He's the opposite of the Q curse. He was just
He
like
is. He does. What does he always say? I
Nostradamus there,
am the
dude.
source.
Yeah, I am
I
the
am the
source.
source.
So, I mean, it wasn't pretty. Green Bay played sloppy. We didn't convert very well in the red zone. That happened against the Eagles, where we lost that game where we were in the red zone and couldn't get anything to go with it. But, I mean, you don't apologize for wins in the NFL. And
Nope,
20 to
never.
19,
LaFleur being 11-0 is wild.
he just doesn't lose, and the Bears
That's
just find
insane, dude.
ways to be the Bears and just
That's the
lose these
NFL,
games,
man.
dude.
11-0 against an NFL team in your division. Crazy.
Think if you're a Bears
That's
fan this
Chiefs
year,
shit, dude. That's Patrick Mahomes shit.
yeah. If you're a Bears fan this year, you watch the Commanders hit a Hail Mary on you, and then you watch the last second field goal get blocked by your like most hatred rival team that you haven't beat in 11 games now.
See what happens when you're a grown ass man and paints your nails. That's what happens.
You might be onto something.
People instantly assume you're weak as fuck.
Yeah. He didn't play bad. It probably helped that they decided to fire the offensive coordinator because he looked way more relaxed.
Oh, yep.
But yeah, like I said, I won't apologize for the win. I'm glad Green Bay walked out of Chicago with it. And like you said, the Niners come to Green Bay this weekend. Green Bay's -1.5 point favorite at Lambeau.
Kittle didn't play last week.
He's playing this weekend.
I got my fantasy update.
Yeah.
Yesterday it said George Kittle said he is playing Sunday.
Yep. He will be.
The 49ers have to win. If the 49ers do not beat the Packers this weekend, their season's over. I promise you. It's done.
Yeah, I won't bet on this game, but
why?
I hate betting on my favorite teams just because if I bet on Green Bay,
what a crock of shit that is.
No, I really don't. I have only bet on Florida like once or twice this year because I hate betting on them. Green Bay I've only bet on once this year because if they don't cover my bet, then I'm pissed that they lost and I'm pissed that I lost money.
It is it's a double
whammy. But if I was going to bet, I'd probably take the Niners just because you look at years past and the Niners are Green Bay's boogeyman. As much as we are the boogeyman to the Bears, the Niners are that to us.
Okay.
Obviously,
facto.
the two teams they're not on the same
facto.
They're not on the same level of thing.
I feel like you should beat the Bears.
Well, yeah. I just really want to beat the Niners, more so in the fucking playoffs, dude. We should have beat them last year. Don't get me started,
in Lambeau.
Dude.
I know you don't know the time, but I'm pretty sure I saw today.
I'm sure it's probably like the 3:30 game. I'm sure it's probably America's game of the week.
Sunday night. Yeah, I wonder who Sunday night is this week, fuckers.
Sunday night, it might actually be Monday night. I don't know. Ravens versus Chargers, I know, is a prime time for either Sunday or Monday.
Chargers 7-3.
That's on the list because Ravens are -2.5, but it's the Brother Bowl. Harbaugh versus Harbaugh.
Oh, yeah. Fucking hell.
And I think I like the older brother.
Didn't they do that in the Super Bowl?
They did.
Ravens 49ers?
John beat Jim, and I like John to beat Jim again.
Ray Lewis's last year.
Yep. So I like the Ravens. Give me the Ravens -2.5. Chargers coming off that win against the Bengals where McPherson wasn't clutch, and they walk away with the win because of that.
The 7-3 Chargers. Who would have guessed?
The Jim Harbaugh effect.
Yep.
That's one thing. That dude, he goes to places and he just wins. He won at Stanford. He was winning at the Niners, took him to the Super Bowl, won the Natty at Michigan. Sometimes it takes a few years to get him going, but once he starts rolling.
Imagine playing football, making a shitload of money, and you're playing for somebody that, like,
loves football.
That loves football. He's chill as fuck. He's off a national championship. Like, dude.
They showed a clip of him catching passes during warm-ups. He had wide receiver gloves on, and he was catching them from Herbert, and he dropped like one pass, and he was like, God damn it, that's on me, guys. That's on me. Like he was talking like he was about to suit up and go play on the game. Like I need to be better out there,
Drops the
man.
ball. Fuck.
Yeah, it was basically that. Like hit his legs.
Uh,
Like you could tell he was
him
thinking about that drop like in the fourth quarter. Like I should have
were his
fucking
gloves
caught
too
that.
big?
No, they weren't too big.
No.
They were like
Okay.
the
Okay.
legit wide receivers, but
Uh,
looked like he was about ready to suit
I
up
have
out there.
I have seen the clip. I have seen a clip. I want to say it was from training camp. I saw a clip of him in gloves catching passes,
Yeah,
and he said, "Justin hit me,"
yeah. Dude thinks
and
he's about
Herbert
to
threw a
start out
piss
there.
missile at him.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny, dude. Oh shit.
Jim Harbaugh is a true
Yeah.
100% football guy. I respect that man. Um,
Yeah.
and then with the NFL, I only had the Ravens, Chargers, Green Bay, and Niners, and I put this on the list because it's your squad. The Broncos -6 going to the Raiders. Is it fuck it? I just want the Raiders to lose time. Like I don't
Yeah,
care.
and Bo Nix is balling. I think Bo Nix is going to win
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
Uh,
Potentially. I mean, he's leading all rookie quarterbacks in touchdowns by like 10, something like that.
yeah. I guess he
Who
might.
else? Who else is going to win Rookie of the Year over Bo Nix right now today? See,
I guess you might be right. You might be right.
they're in our division, dude. I mean, he
Yeah.
threw what was it 350 and 4 last week,
I think something along those
something like
lines.
that. Yeah, like that's dangerous.
Are you a Bo lever? I'm starting to
No,
become a
fuck
Bo
the
lever.
Broncos. No,
I
no.
kind
I
of
hope
believe in
I
Bo.
hope Bo tears his MCL this week.
Um,
I don't
after the
wish injuries on anybody, but
maybe this is the right spot to bet the Raiders too. The Raiders coming off a bad loss to the Dolphins. The Broncos coming off a big win against the Falcons, crushing
where's it
them.
at?
It's in Las Vegas.
The worst part about it is that with that too, the Dolphins aren't good either.
They're starting to play better though with Tua
They
back.
are. They are.
They weren't good
So
without Tua. They're starting to play better.
Vegas, Vegas. I don't know, dude. It's like almost. I'm gonna reverse curse. The Raiders aren't gonna fucking win this game. Like, there's no way the Raiders win this game. Okay, fuck the curse. The Raiders aren't winning this game.
Yeah,
They're not winning this
yeah.
game. Bo
Give
Nix
me
is balling out.
Give me Raiders +6. Give me Raiders +6.
Ah, I didn't mean that from the heart, though.
I know what's happening here. +6.
I'm telling you, it's false.
I'm all too wise to your game. Or as the Shaq meme would say, I am very familiar with your game, young man.
Young Padawan.
Um, so that brings me to one of the favorite segments. It's finally time to revisit the Q curse of the week. We're sitting. It's 4-3, but don't focus on the record as much as
The
that
Ohio
we're up.
State one was a bad take.
Yeah, it
Like I
was.
said, I thought Iowa had a chance. I didn't really
But
realize Iowa was kind of the team they are. Not
yeah,
necessarily saying they're shitty for
that's on
whoever's
Iowa, not
listening.
you, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
But what I was gonna say is don't focus on the record, even though it's only 4-3. You know, you're only one game above
Oh,
500.
I know who I want to
You
curse. I can
you
feel it.
wanna look at how many units you're up, and if people have been betting this, they're up. They're still up 4 units. So
What
if
does
you're
that
betting,
mean?
that means if I bet $400 or I mean $100 a game
Mm-hmm.
right now, if I took your picks, I'd be up $400.
That's great.
So yeah. So who we cursing this week?
I can feel it,
In the
and
air tonight.
it hurts for me to say because they're my second favorite team. Who's my second favorite college team?
I don't know.
I know Logan knows this. He says it all the time.
Oh, hold on. I do know. It's the
Who is it?
Golden Domers.
It's the Golden
It's the
Domers.
Golden Domers. Let's
I'm
go.
cursing them this weekend. I can feel it. I
Oh
really
my
can.
God.
I really feel like they will not win this football game.
If Army money
I
line
think
hits as a
I
14.5 point underdog, holy
I
shit.
I think I Riley Leonard and Notre Dame are frauds. I do think that. They need to get a fucking conference.
Yeah.
They're I don't know. I'm cursing them. I even drum
If
rolled it. I truly feel that way. No bullshit. I'm cursing Notre Dame.
if they lost this weekend too, I think that basically that would punch them out of the
Oh yeah,
playoffs
they're done.
almost for sure.
Fuck them.
Yeah. I
Even you know.
Man, I love that so much because I really wanted to bet Army plus 14.5, and this just gives me every more
I
reason.
really am. I can feel that.
I might bet them 14.5, sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I might just get a little wild.
Like
But
I promise you, I've been thinking about that for like 3 days
I don't hate that.
because I don't want them
Damn.
to lose, but I
No,
feel like they
yeah,
will.
they're your second favorite
Like,
team.
yeah, I don't. I'm a Notre Dame guy. I really am. Shout out Hoodie. I really am a
Okay,
Notre Dame guy.
so you heard it here first. Army over Notre Dame. Go ahead and bet the money line because that's what we do with the Q curse. All it does is
Damn.
win you money. Um, and then for me, I think me and Logan's. Oh yeah, me and Logan's lock of the week, or me and government blank name.
It doesn't. Okay. Okay. When you
No,
fucking say his name and then you say the government shit, you associate the two. So now they know from the beginning that's who the fuck it is.
they've
You could have
always
just
known.
went with
They've
it.
they've always known since the
Fuck,
beginning who the
maybe.
fuck.
Maybe. You've associated the two fucking 4 times now. So we might as well just say his name.
I like doing the bit though. It's a fun
And you
bit.
knew when you said it too. You're like, fuck. Logan, fuck government, fuck. Fuck!
So me and his lock of the week both hit. He had Florida as his lock. I had Kansas, and I think I'm like 10-1 now. I know there were some weeks
Holy
we forgot.
shit.
We forgot to do some locks of the
Are you
week. But,
really?
well, my lock of the week every week has been whoever's facing Florida State.
Oh, fuck.
Florida State's 1-9, so I'm 9-1 with that. And then last week I took Kansas, so that makes me 10-1. And Florida State plays a School of the Blind this week, so I can't take them. So
Georgia played Mercer.
We're going back to the well. Give me the Jayhawks over Colorado this weekend.
Okay. That's fair.
They do it
That is
3
fair.
weeks in a row. They're just, if you're
That
the
is a good
Jayhawks,
pick. That's a good pick, dude.
yeah, they're only 2.5-point underdogs, which is fishy. So give me them. And it's just, they're looking at the top of the Big 12 and they're like, BYU cross, or Iowa State cross them off. BYU cross them off. Oh, Colorado, you're up there. Yeah, you're next. We're going for 3 in a row with it. So I'm riding with the Jayhawks. They're playing good ball this year, or towards the end of the year. I did not come with a trivia question. I dropped the ball on that one. Okay, good. Logan was normally our guy for that. So
who has the longest losing streak in the NFL right now?
Longest losing streak in the NFL. Well, it can't be the Panthers because they just won just a week ago.
About a week ago.
Fuck,
what else? And now you tweaking, ho?
I want to say maybe like the Giants. I don't know when they won though.
They are ass.
They are bad. Oh, maybe the Jets.
Which how? You know, with Brees Hall and fucking
they're bad. They're
Godgers and shit.
Side note, I know
that's what you used to call him, by the way.
Yeah, no, he was Godgers for Green Bay. He's washed now. That dude's fucking washed. We finessed the Jets in that trade, by the way. Finesse.
I mean, you got what you needed for fucking.
We finessed the Raiders with Adams. We finessed the Jets with Rodgers. We're just finessing teams.
The Packers organization sits back and chills.
Just finesse.
And they're like, Ah, Favre to the Vikings or Favre to the Jets.
Yeah.
Ah, here you go.
But the funny thing with that, I wanted to get off track for just a second. It looks like Rodgers might not want to go back to the Jets, and it doesn't sound
Nope.
like the Jets want Rodgers back next
Nope.
year either.
We also we perhaps we're at the point now we should start talking about college basketball with
We can start to work
Florida's
that
got
in
a
a little
squad.
bit.
I mean,
Yeah.
Iowa's got a
State.
squad. Iowa
All of us
State's
got a
got a
squad
squad.
right now, yeah?
Iowa State plays 4th ranked Auburn Monday night in Maui. Monday
Yeah.
night.
That's going to be a good one.
If curse whatever, I don't give a fuck. Iowa State wins the Maui. They beat Auburn. Go down the list. It's a hard list. Pretty sure UConn's there. But, win 4 games, you're the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm pretty sure. I know Auburn Monday night. I want to say it's 6 p.m. Monday night. 5th ranked Iowa State versus 4th ranked Auburn. And they're both off like a week and a half since their last game.
Yeah. Iowa State's been playing like one game a week.
Yeah. So.
But yeah. So good point. We'll start to sprinkle in a little bit of college
What
basketball.
about Florida? They got a squad.
Yeah, no, they just beat FAMU by like 24 last week, and Florida State by double digits. I think we've won every game this year by double digits. We haven't played like a big time opponent yet, but
wrestling.
Our coach is also under investigation for fucking bullshit. But
yeah, your head basketball coach. Sounds
still
like the
coaching.
dude's a fucking pervert. That's
I don't
what
know.
it sounds like.
I mean, it's been known for like over a year, so I feel like.
I didn't know that till I saw that. Dude, they had that on ESPN when I said that to you like a week and a half ago. They're still talking about that shit.
No, I know.
Because you guys were winning. That's
That's why we can't have anything nice.
No. That's wild, though.
To go off your trivia question, I'm going to say the Jets have the longest losing streak. I can't remember when they last won. But until next week. Stay tuned for the new era.
So next week.
We may or may not have our fill-in.
We'll give a hint. He has already said this beforehand that he's good to go every Thursday. We will, Dill, I think this is a good opportunity for us. Let's follow more wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying high school. I'm saying, and I can take over, and he can handle that as well.
I was about to say, yeah.
But maybe we should just start each week. College football, college wrestling, college basketball, NFL.
Okay. Try or
end it with NFL. Just fucking.
We'll have to see what he says. Like you said, he said that he was ready to fill in at any point. Now we're asking him to fill in permanently.
I also have, while we're on here, I do want to get. I've been wanting to get Pig on here.
Mm-hmm.
Bad, and I want to get Cat on here.
Yeah, he messaged me about.
I want to get Cat and I want to get Pig on here.
Yeah.
We also need to get Matt and Mason.
I don't know. Yeah, they'll let us know if they're built for the podcast life.
What have they said?
I feel like we brought it up to them in the past before, and they were like, "I don't think we could handle being on a podcast."
Okay, so let's.
But maybe I'm putting words in their mouth. They'll be able to tell us themselves when they hear this.
Let's do this right now. Let's say I'm speaking for me and you right now. Fuck it. If you don't like it, tell me that. Next week, Matt and Mason, let's try and get them both. Next week. After Iowa State plays Utah this weekend, Iowa plays Maryland, Iowa State plays Auburn Monday night. I'm sure Kansas has some games in there.
It might work
That's
out.
what I mean. I feel like it'll be a loaded pod. What are they nervous about?
No, Mason has a bedtime of like an 8-year-old, though.
Whatever.
He's an old man, so we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
I can't keep him up. The dude just hates staying
They
up.
can listen. They can talk shit on Twitter all they want. Well, I'm challenging them right now.
I told
Stay
him
up
not to
past
do
your
that. For
bedtime,
the
pussy.
record. For the record, I said it would be a shame if they said you weren't dedicated.
The only reason I said what I said was I caught it on a Saturday night after a late Iowa State game and a win. So either
they got
way,
the best of you.
they
But
did.
stay tuned. Stay tuned for the new era. Stay tuned to see, who fills the third spot. We'll find somebody one way or another.
We will never forget the government.
Never forget.
No, he is the OG.
Show
Someday
some love.
when we're rich and famous, he can have 2%.
Yeah.
Just for bailing, you get 2%.
Yeah. Just for holding it down. But
and it'll be 2% stats guy.
Yeah.
Until what?
Until next week, we out of here. Peace.